This is the One Episode Rule, a podcast about first impressions. I am Magpie. Didn't watch shit all. Really.
Ah, it was my turn with the anime this week.
It was your turn.
It was my turn. Hi, everyone. I'm Joey. This week I finished Erased. It was really good.
Oh, yeah? You like it?
Yeah, I liked it. I think it's worth a watch.
Well, maybe I'll have to watch it.
Yeah, and that's all I watched this week, actually, so...
Hey there, it's me, Louis. I also didn't watch it for all. So
Told you it was my turn with the anime.
Although we all have independently been keeping up with Dungeon Meshi.
Yeah,
There's only like 4 more episodes.
I haven't been watching it in a minute, honestly. But I read the whole thing, so...
Yeah, we're at the we're at the bit where Izitsumi begins to learn many hard lessons. Which is the only way she appears to be able to learn any lessons.
She's doing her best, okay?
She's not.
She's doing her best.
Self-admittedly, and she doesn't want to do her best.
She's doing her best and we love her. Alright? That's all there is to say about that.
Categorically does not want to put forth the effort.
Well, that's her best, okay?
I heard some people talking about how like they didn't like her voice acting in English.
I've heard that too, and I haven't actually like listened to see what I think either. So.
I quite like it. She sounds like a nasty little wretch.
Appropriate.
Louis didn't have anything to talk about.
Nope.
So you guys want some news?
Yeah. What's the new? What news on the front?
We're doing a grumpy old bastard feature again.
Oh, okay.
Because let's see, there was recently an interview with Goro Miyazaki.
Oh yes, of course.
And he talked about his dad a little bit, and how his dad had said that the golden age of anime is over. And
his dad said, "I've done it all, son, and you suck. Goodbye."
And also he mentioned is like everything's really foggy for the future of the studio, and I don't really know, but I think my father has ideas for a new feature film. But he believes the golden age of Japanese animation has passed, and there's not much left. Also, he doesn't tell anybody about his ideas until they're completely ready to put into production, because he views all other animators as rivals.
Wrong. All writers are enemies.
Whether they are younger than him, the staff who support him, or whether they are inside or outside the company.
Unforgivable Dungeon Meshi. Yes, once again.
A fellow Ghibli animator, Shigeo Akihori, backed his view that the golden age of anime is over, but suggests that this can be fixed. He sees younger artists acting more like craftsmen in a workshop, being very rigid in how they adopt manga, even if they're doing it very accurately. And suggests that a lot of them need to do what Makoto Shinkai did, which is make a bunch of short films before jumping into feature films and television shows. I think it is also funny that this article once again quotes Tomino as saying that younger animators should rise up and crush Miyazaki, possibly lending some credence to his belief that other animators are his rivals.
Yeah, understandable.
I love that Tomino energy, though. It's just like, you should get that old bastard.
Get him, boys! It's very funny.
Let's see, what else we got? We've got some cool old guy stuff. 2 One Piece stories. For the 25th anniversary, they apparently are going to rent out the Las Vegas Sphere.
Cool.
For a thing. They're gonna put Luffy on the orb.
They're gonna put him on the orb. Yeah. Luffy, don't give it up. Luffy, don't.
They're gonna put him on the ball. Also, apparently, Taz Skylar from One Piece Live Action revealed recently that that he was having dinner with Oda at one point, and well, he told a couple of cute stories about it, but yeah, he got Oda to offer to design a tattoo for him and
Neat.
anybody else in the cast who wants it, and
Aw.
he got it.
Oh, that's
Like,
really cute.
it's
Holy crap.
a neat little tattoo. He also got Oda to sign his black belt, and I forget what martial art he's in.
Yeah, I've no idea.
But yeah, he was determined to get his black belt before the show started, and he managed it just in time. So he took it to Oda's house, and Oda signed it.
Oh.
I'm just like, it's fun.
More
And
live
finally,
action
with
content.
grumpy old bastard news.
Oh boy.
Yoshihiro Togashi keeps delivering people's DoorDash orders.
What?
Recently, whenever he started updating his daily Twitter with Hunter x Hunter manga storyboards and such, he started complaining that DoorDash keeps delivering other people's orders to his door, which is a thing that happens to people. But what happens afterwards isn't normal, because he then takes it upon himself to just track down where they fucking belong and deliver them himself.
Holy shit.
This has apparently happened 3 times already.
Aw, buddy.
Togashi, you realize you're under no obligation to actually do that.
What a nice guy, though.
What a nice guy who's real mad about it.
What a nice guy who probably shouldn't be doing that, but good for him, I
It's
guess.
just like, what a bunch of bullshit. This food smells so good. I'm so hungry now. Silly man. Anyway, do you guys want an anime to watch?
Yeah, let's watch
Sure.
an anime.
Do you guys want to watch The Masterful Cat is Depressed Again Today?
It's got a cat? Is there a cat there?
Yes.
Hey, tell me if there's a cat.
It seems like there might be a cat.
Holy shit. I wanna watch it so bad. Can we do it? Can we go watch this cat anime?
I think I'll allow it.
Okay. Bye! Black cat is good luck. See him face.
Black Cat had damn well better be good luck whenever I end up standing behind him at the corner store while he's buying cigarettes.
See him face.
I sure as fuck do see him face. It's way too far off the ground. Does anybody want this blurb? Why must you all be so difficult?
Yep. The Maine Coon is one of the largest domesticated cat breeds, standing out among other cats for its impressive size and intelligence. But regular celery woman, Saku Fukazawa, has a hard time explaining why her rescued black cat now towers over her. Yukichi is no run-of-the-mill cat. He is a masterful feline who has taken charge of the chores in the Fukazawa household. While his master rushes to catch the train during the morning rush hour and works late into the night, the giant cat is diligently packing Saku's lunch, cooking her meals, cleaning their home, and buying groceries. I'm gonna tell you, this ain't a Maine Coon.
He's not a Maine Coon.
This is not a Maine Coon, folks.
He looks. He's got the appearance of just like an American domestic short-haired cat.
This is
He is 6 feet tall and
he is 6
stands on
feet
his
tall.
hind legs.
He is somewhat anthropomorphic. Somewhat.
Only barely.
Only barely. Like I expected this to be okay. This is a show about a cat boy. This is not your standard cat boy.
This is a cat man.
This is a cat man.
If he was not a stay-at-home domestic helper, then he would be out there getting a job.
Yeah.
Like,
that's the other thing is
he gets off the aura of somebody who pays taxes.
That's the thing about this cat. The other thing that we have to talk about, this cat is like fully human intelligent.
Mm.
Like to the degree that like he is cooking recipes, he can understand recipes that are coming on the TV.
So So yeah, we open on and just we're gonna come back to this a couple of times because I do have gripes about this show. But we open on one of the most unnecessarily long like city tour scenes that I've ever seen.
we're
It goes
gonna
on for so long.
we're gonna have a moment to talk about that. Well, let's get through some of this other stuff first because we have to talk about that.
Yeah, like it just goes on and on and on. But yeah, it's pretty standard stuff. I can't say whether the animation in this show is good or bad because it's got some pretty egregious 3D models, and sometimes the frame rate seems fucked up.
Okay, no, actually, we're going to talk about this right now. Okay,
Hmm.
I want
Oh,
everyone to go to my anime list and find the
mhm.
studio
All
that
right,
produced this, and I want you to go ahead and click on it. I want you to go ahead and click on it and
all right,
see the anime list that comes up. And I want you to look at what is directly next to this show in that list. All right,
all
tell
right.
me when
Let's
you spot it.
what handshakers?
So yeah, this is the
Handshakers
studio
of
that gave
hair.
us Handshakers
I know I
and
felt a certain kind of
a
vertigo
certain menacing aura upon this one. Yes.
watching this. I felt like the some of the camera cuts were so kind of jerky and nausea inducing. Um, motherfucker.
So yeah, it's
Um,
another Go Hands production.
but uh, but yeah. All of that aside, we uh we come in on somebody cooking breakfast, and this is where the animation is good actually because he's pouring like
Yes.
he's cracking eggs. The eggs getting poured into the pan and like filling it up and then bubbling up was
Hmm.
actually a really nice shot.
Yeah. No, there's definitely some satisfying animation in this for sure.
Yeah, yeah. He's chopping a daikon, um, you know,
This cat loves cooking so much.
making a lunch bento, um, making a lunch bento with rice and everything. And as he does this, you only ever see his hands at this point, so he could be conceivably just be a man. Um,
Yeah, they're
uh,
attempting to fool you.
and in the other room, there's a young lady peacefully sleeping until he steals her blanket because it is time to go to work.
It's time for
Uh,
work.
and she gets dressed and goes to work. And we actually get another one of those tracking shots again of her going through the city, um,
The music
getting on
picks
her
up to
train.
this like funky workout music.
Mhm. uh, and getting to her work, which is where we actually start in earnest because this is the one where she's yeah, this is the scene where she's on her laptop at work.
Yes.
She's using one of those godless trackpads for perverts. Um, and as one of her coworkers comes up behind her, and she like freaks out for some reason, and she clutches the laptop to her chest, and she's like, "Yes, can I help you?" And her coworker's just like, "Hey, I meant to ask you about what are you hiding?" um, she's like, you shouldn't be on the dating sites on a company computer." She's like, "No, that's not what I'm doing at all." And she like fumbles the computer open, and it's like a Pinterest, gallery of just, like, the biggest cats.
Yeah.
She's just like, "Big cats, huh?"
Wow.
She's just like, "Well, I recently adopted a cat, and I just wanted to know, how big
How
they
big they
usually
get.
get." And
She's
her,
desperately Googling
cat cat
man-sized cat? Cat the
cat
size of human?
cat wears pants.
Cat, cat cook dinner? Question mark? Normal for
Cat
cat to make me uh
normal for cat to go to the ATM. Um And, her coworker is just like, "Oh, no, you can't do that. You can't get a pet. You can't get a pet while you're still single. It'll ruin your chances of marriage." She's just like, "What? No, it won't. What are you talking about?" Um, uh, anyway, Anyway, if he turns out to be too much for you to take care of, I'm sure my old parents will take him in. She's like,
Yeah,
"Oh, yeah, thanks for that," and she's just like, "Huh, normally I wouldn't, but I don't know.
ethically
Maybe he is
speaking, you cannot adopt this cat.
maybe he is too much for me." Uh, and then she goes home. This is basically just her going from home to work all day.
Hmm.
Um, all the first episode. Um, and she goes home to encounter Yukichi, who we are finally shown in his full glory because he is a 6 foot tall black tomcat. Um,
Yes, and he's got kind of like the tomcat face. He's got the round cheeks.
mm, he-
He's kind of a chubby cat.
he's
He's
got sort of
big ol'.
an unusual coloration in that his like mouth is like an off brown,
Yeah,
but
he's got a little bit of brown markings on his face.
I looked at him initially and I think just because of his expression and like his ears, I just thought ninja cat. But uh but yeah, he's wearing an apron and he is already cooked for her.
Hmm.
And she's just like, "Oh my god, that smells incredible." Um she's like, "I'm gonna eat it right now."
Hmm.
And she does, and she's like, "It was so good. It was so good." And she just falls asleep
Yeah,
at
she's
the
like, I want a
table.
beer.
She's like, "I want a beer." And he drags her into the bathroom and shoves her in the tub and blasts her with hot water.
He puts on like full hazmat
Oh
gear
yeah,
because
yeah.
he doesn't want to touch the water.
He puts on a Breaking Bad chemical suit because he doesn't want to get wet.
Yeah, it's quite
Yeah, and he
funny.
blasts her with really hot water. And it's just like, oh, that's fun. But it does wake her up. And she's just sort of dicking around, and she's like, I'm gonna get a beer. I'm gonna drink some beer."
Hmm.
She's like, "Ooh, chicken and cheese. Can I eat these, Yukichi?" He's like, "No," and he never speaks. He just
Yeah,
crosses his arms.
I suspect that he doesn't have lips. I don't
He
think he
doesn't.
can make
He doesn't have the ability to speak Japanese.
human
He is a
speech.
cat. He is just an exceptionally large cat that
Yes,
walks on his hind legs with a huge brain. Um.
with his huge brain. Yes.
Uh. She's just like, "Oh, it's for lunch tomorrow. I see. It's for tomorrow's bento. I see. Yeah, it looks so good, but it is for lunch tomorrow, and I can't go eating tomorrow's bento." And he's just like, "Oh, shit. Oh, fine." And
If
he's just
final,
like, "I'll make you something."
he
And he
makes her
starts
something else. Yeah,
makes her some little gyozas, like looks like it looks like
some sort of cheese dumplings. She said
they
it
had
was
like
cheese.
cheese and edamame, and
Yeah,
she's
I
like,
don't know.
what a forbidden flavor." And yeah, she sits there and eats those and gets drunk.
Yeah, because then she starts thinking about the marriage comment again. I think.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, she's like, "I don't care," and then she looks down at the gyoza and she's like, "I don't care," and just drains her the entire glass, and she's like, "Yukichi, give me another beer."
Which I think is quite funny because like anyone else saying that about someone's cat, it would be like, okay, whatever. In this
Mhm.
case, I don't know. They might be
They might
they
be
might
right.
be right.
Even if I could get past the existence of 6 foot tall, like, domestic cat, um, the energy is gonna be a little weird.
Yeah, the dynamic here is strange.
To be like, is he the jealous type? 'Cause I think I could take him, but I don't really want to.
Yeah.
He's gotta have claws, right?
Uh-huh. Oh yeah.
Gonna hurt. Um,
They
so,
show him in his cat bed too.
oh, yeah. Well, wait, in his cat bed or he sleeps in her bed.
He's
Yeah.
oh, is it
It
it I thought it was a separate bed for some reason. I don't know
no,
why I thought
he's
that.
just sleeping on the half of her fully half of her bed.
He
Um,
sleeps like a cat too. He
mhm.
loafs.
Yeah, he's loafed on the bed. Um, And then,
She has like 6-foot cat butt right by her face the entire time.
mhm,
Oh god, I don't want to think about the shits this cat takes.
no, we can't acknowledge it. Well, no, it doesn't matter. He shits in the toilet like a man.
I mean, yes, he would,
It's not a
but god,
problem.
he is an obligate carnivore.
It's
That's gonna
yeah.
be real
My
bad.
man, my man is God. Do you think he eats kibble?
He can't. He cannot. He eats regular human food. He has to. Their
He,
grocery bill has to be
he
astronomical.
just eats fist-sized kibbles.
I'm
Just
gonna die.
donut-shaped pemmican.
Oh my god, I hate everything about this. Anyhow.
Smells crazy in that bathroom. um, but yeah, the next morning they start their routine again. He gets up before she does because well, it's not unusual for a cat to get up before you do because
Mhm.
cats sleep 18 hours a day whenever the fuck they want. So they're up at strange hours.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, he gets up before she does. Oh yeah, and we forgot to mention that he was cleaning the house when she got home, and he was
Yes.
doing it in the dark.
That is a charming little
That
detail.
that's cursed. Don't
It's
do
quite
that.
funny.
But yeah, and he gets up and he turns on the TV and it's like 7:55 in the morning and the TV's playing the Good Morning song. There's something really charming about like Japanese like local television.
Uh-huh.
I'm thinking of Maibara from
Oh
JoJo Part
yeah.
4. Morning or not Maibara. Morning, 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 Morio Joe. But yeah, he starts in on it. Um, we should note the like fierce pride that he takes in his private moments.
Mhm.
Um, like whenever he picked up the bento box and found that it was completely clean except for 1 grain of rice, and he just said, "Hmm,
He's like,
all as it
"Yes,
should be.
I am a good cook."
Another perfect day for Yukichi.
I good kitty.
I am I am a master of my craft." Um,
Yeah.
uh, but anyway, he starts getting everything ready, and she doesn't want to get up, uh, because she had too much to drink last night.
Mhm.
Um, and you think he's just gonna pull the blanket off her, but no, he bats at her face for a while, which is hilarious given that he's the size of a man. Imagine if your spouse woke you up that way.
Yeah, no, it's really funny.
But and she won't wake up. So he withdraws the paw, and then the next thing you notice is he's just fully loafed on top of her.
Yep, squish.
He's just like, "No, I can't breathe.
I'm going to die.
Please." Um, and the next scene is her. She's got herself fully dressed, and she's dressed. She's got like the Japanese office lady thing going on, which is like an entirely different aesthetic than like what professionals do here. Because she's got like
Mhm.
lots of frills on her blouse, but she's
Mhm.
also wearing a a skirt suit too. But
Mhm.
she's standing there, and then and you just see tears well up in her eyes. And she's like, "I don't want to go to work."
Yeah.
Just like, "Well, we're gonna have so many meetings today and day as soon as I get there, and I don't have all the paperwork like
And I'm gonna have to
fixed
meeting
up
with my
already."
boss, and it's gonna be stressful.
It's just like why can't they just send these progress reports directly to our phones? Why do we have to print out everything? I don't want to go. It's not fair. The trains are crowded, and he just pulls her in for a hug. He's
Mhm.
just like, there, and then he shoves her out and locks the door.
Yeah. She's like, "You're so mean."
Like, cruel. And she goes to work. I forget what happens during this when she's at work this time.
um, her coworker gives her that little cat hutch.
Yeah, is that all that happens?
I think that's all that happens.
Yeah, her coworker brings her this sort of traditional Japanese cat house. It's made out of straw, And I looked at that and I was just like, "That's adorable." You
You
guys
can't
have,
do
like,
anything with that.
you guys have a traditional cat house that you make out of straw? That's
Uh-huh.
fucking precious, Japan.
Yes.
It's like a little wicker basket, but with a hole on the side instead of the top and a little
Uh-huh.
handle. It looked like he was designed to be able to hang it from places. It's crazy. But she brings it back and she's just like, yeah, she's never seen you. So there's no way she could have ever known. And he just takes it from her and he stands with it under his arm for a second. And she's just like, huh, like a racing helmet. And she's just like, really, I'm sorry. But he's just like, wait, no, you like it? And he sits down in a chair and he starts trying to put his foot in it. She's like, "That's not gonna happen, man." And the last the last scene of that is just she's asleep in bed and he's laying beside her with it just jammed onto his head,
Mhm.
uh, like like one of those monks with the flute.
Yeah.
Um, oh yeah, and I forgot the scene. Or is it this one?
I don't remember, because there was a scene where she was at work and
There's a
she
scene where I think that happens this time because, she
Yes.
goes to work, she goes to work, after he dispenses karaage and cheese from the other day, into her bento box, and as she's at work, he's sitting there, doing chores around the place. He turns on the TV, and he, like, memorizes a recipe for, like, exhaustion.
Yeah,
It's like
perfectly memorizes it just by
like
hearing
a
it.
super curry, and he's just like, "Got it." And, there's a lot of, like, text work in this that's pretty good. This is
Mhm.
the only times you get to sort of hear Yukichi's voice.
Yeah, 'cause he
Uh,
has an internal
he
monologue.
has an internal voice, and I really liked that katakana were laser engraved
Yeah.
on the speech bubble. He's just like, "Got it." He goes out he throws the futon over the edge of the, balcony for a while to let it air out, and the sun's out, uh, and shining, and he's just like, "Huh." And the next scene you see is a lady and her kid walking down the street, and she's just like, What?" He's like, "Wow, mama, look at that." And she's like, "Wow, how rare, a bare rug." Because, yeah, he's just falling asleep directly on top of the futon hanging over the balcony. Pretty
Mhm.
good.
It was pretty good.
Uh He also, gave his human, gave, Fukuzawa some, homemade, desserts, which I don't know what he gave her. It's either a Japanese or a French thing.
Oh, we didn't talk about her calling home and saying she was gonna be late or wasn't gonna
I
make it.
I believe that hasn't happened yet.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. God, the problem with this show is, like, it's just, like, sort of
It has 2
little
locations.
tidbits. Yeah.
Uh,
You can
Clearly,
almost just have them in almost any order.
this feels like it was adapted from, like, a 4 coma.
Yeah, probably,
And
honestly.
it has this, it also has kind of the sense of humor of a 4 coma comic, and let me
Yes.
tell you, 4 comas are great. The Japanese are really fucking funny.
Yes. Yes.
But, we don't get as much exposure to them over here as we should.
Mhm.
But, um, yeah, yeah, he gives her some madeleines, which I'm not familiar with, but, they're
Some sort of cookie?
handmade dessert, and she gives them to her coworker in exchange for the cat house because he loved it despite not being able to get inside. And she's just like, "Oh, man, I can't take these." It's like, "No, no, 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 just take them. You were so kind to us." And it gets around to, it's like, "Wow, did you make these yourself? That's so cool." And they all just like, "Wow, you're such a good cook. What good homemaking skills." And she's just like, g I didn't really do any of this, you know? You don't get the wrong impression about me or ask me to make anything." Uh She almost blurts out that it's like, "No, it wasn't me, it was the cat."
Yeah. They're just like, "Huh?"
"Huh, what? Did you
She
spike
immediately,
this?"
"I did this."
Hmm. It's just
Quite
like,
funny.
um, she's just like, "Oh, shit, I can't believe that happened." Um, and, she sits down to continue her work, and, uh, her boss comes up behind her. We didn't mention it, but in the intro to this, there was a secondary character for a little bit, and that was her boss driving
Mhm.
himself to work in his own car, which is why
True.
he's the boss. He has a
Yes.
sports car, and he drives to work instead of takes public transportation. Um, and he seems like a relatively cool character, pretty young for a boss man.
Mhm.
Um, but he comes up behind her and he's just like, "How's your cat?" "Oh yeah, and also we need this from Company C, and I wanted to discuss with you." And she just goes like green because of the previous conversation, and she's just like, what did you say?" It's just like, "Well, I need the documents from Company C." It's just like, "Oh no, before that." It's just like, "Oh no, I asked about your cat." She's just like, "How did you know I had a cat?" "Oh, I've met him before."
The
Anyway,
most
I have to
ominous,
go.
unexplained statement.
It's great because he just immediately leaves on a business trip for 2 weeks.
She cannot ask about this. What do you mean you
What
met
do you
my
mean you've
cat?
met my cat?
Oh.
Like a coworker? Like a business acquaintance? Just like, "Oh, yeah, we had a beer at the airport."
I mean,
Wow.
yeah, they might as well have.
Um, I should mention that every time the cat was alone, I half expected him to go out on the balcony and just, like, produce a pack of cigarettes and just tap it on tap it on
Yeah,
his wrist. Just
that
break
is
one out and smoke for a while.
uh-huh, that is the energy of this cat.
He's got
Extremely.
real Kazuma Kiryu energy.
He does!
He's just not quite as silly
Which is very funny because he's literally a cat.
because he is literally a cat, and he's not as silly as ultimate straight man Kazuma Kiryu. But,
Uh,
yeah, uh, I believe this is the one where, she has to call home because we cut back to him, uh, and he has, he has perfected the curry, and he's just like, "Oh, it's about time for her to get home." And he also does the washing and shit, and he suits up again to wash the
mhm,
bathtub and stuff like that. And he starts chopping up the curry, and he's really fast. And about halfway through the recipe, he gets a phone call from her, which is considerate because he clearly doesn't speak. And it was clever of her to just wait for it to go to messages
mhm.
and say, just like, "Hey, Yukichi, we're really swamped at work. I don't think I'm gonna be home for dinner. I'm probably gonna have to spend the night here," which another allusion to fucked up Japanese work culture.
Yeah.
But, but he's just like, "Mm." And we cut to the office, and it really does look like bombs are about to fucking hit the place.
Everyone in this building
Every
is running around like the chicken with their head
They
cut
are
off.
fucking panicking, and I'm just imagining if I worked at this place, I would just be again, lean back and just pop out a cigarette, just be like, "I think I'm gonna quit."
Someone's like, "Oh god, the printer doesn't have paper. Whoa! Oh, woe is me." It's like,
Nobody should be
"My
panicking
god."
about any of this shit. It's not worth it. But,
Good
yeah.
lord.
But, yeah, it's D-Day in there, and, uh, and she and, Fukuzawa is working, she's typing at her computer, typing up some sort of document, and her phone starts to ring, and she's just like, "Who's calling me? From home? Is Yukichi calling me back?" She picks it up, and there's just silence, and then you just hear, and
He
she's just
just
like, "Did he click his tongue at me?"
not the don't no, he hit her with the disc.
She's and she's just like, "Ah!"
Yeah.
Speeds up 40 times. She's got an
Uh-huh.
aura, lightning's coming off of her, and
Yeah.
everyone can it's diegetic. People in the office can see it, and they're just like,
Yeah.
"Holy shit, Fukasawa's evolving." And the narrator is just like, and like she managed to get home on the 3rd train from the labs.
Yeah.
And then it's like the soft ending of the episode, um, because the credits roll over all of this, but, it's the weekend, uh,
Mhm.
and she's coming home, and she's still worried about her boss, knowing her cat, and she's just like, "I'm not gonna be able to." think about anything. This sucks. I'm gonna have a terrible weekend." And as soon as she gets in, he's got dinner on a tray, and she it completely disappears from her.
Mhm.
She's like she's like, "Incredible." Um, and she gets up, tomorrow on the weekend, and Yukichi, while she's asleep, goes out to do some tasks.
He's gonna take the trash
He
out.
takes the fucking trash out. He walks his man ass down to the corner with the trash, and he runs into an old lady, and the old lady's just like, "Ah, Yukichi, you've gotten bigger, haven't you?"
She is not at all surprised to see this man cat.
I love this old lady. She's great.
She's great.
He's treating him like he's like a fucking local spirit.
Yeah.
He's just like, "Oh, yes, the local Totoro."
I mean, he
Um,
might as well be.
um, and she's just like, I'm so glad you made it. And thank you for helping me carry my garbage because he clearly took her bag with him.
Mhm.
Um, oh yeah, and before they talk, they're standing there, and there's a bunch of crows hanging out, as crows are prone to do. But they're all arrayed on the local power lines and street signs and shit. And he just glares at them. He's like, and they all fuck off. It's just like, wow, they never get at the garbage when you're around. Like, damn right. I fucking hate birds.
Uh.
Yukichi and my dog sharing that trait. Although I will say that the crows don't respect mine.
Yeah, your dog's
Um,
not 6 feet tall standing up.
there's a fair chance Yukichi would shoot at them if they didn't respect. But and they keep talking. It's just like I'm glad you made it. Whenever she brought that kitten in during the winter, I didn't know if you were gonna make it. You were so small and weak. And it cuts back to then, and he is a normal cat.
He's a normal cat just in a blanket.
He's just a little guy.
Just
Um,
imagining, well, at what point did he start doing her chores? Like,
yeah, at what point did he become when did you start getting concerned?
I think that she just woke up one day and he was fully formed and smoking right then and there.
Mhm. He was sitting in the living room.
Uh-huh.
But he had cracked the window first.
Yeah. Yeah, he was clothed.
I don't know why I'm
Mm,
thinking of this scene from one of the Yakuzas where, it's back in the '80s and it's like when they were shit poor and it's Majima and his friend, and they're
Uh-huh.
talking they have this big watermelon on the table for the entire scene. It feels just like that for some reason.
Uh-huh.
But, uh but yeah, he comes home and, she's just like, "Maybe I should get a beer." Um, it is the weekend after all, and, he presents her with some, I believe it, oh, yeah, the old lady gave him some nori. She gave him dried seaweed.
Mhm.
He's just, like, shaking with anticipation. He's just like, "I love nori." Um, and he's,
Implying that he eats some of this stuff.
yeah, well,
I don't
it
know,
it
maybe he
it
just
may
loves
be a
cooking with it.
it may be a cat thing. I can think about what nori looks like. I imagine cats would love that shit.
Oh, it smells like fish, so
Yeah, yeah. And it's, like, dry and crunchy, like,
Mhm. It's very cat-core, yes, I get it.
um, but, yeah, by the time she's gotten up, he's already made her, seaweed, chicken like, fried chicken, like, balls.
Uh-huh.
She's like, "You're the best," and she eats them, and she's like, "Can I have s" she's like, "Seconds, please," and he's like, "No." She's like, "Come on, don't be stingy. I know you made tons of it." And he disappears from the scene, and he comes back with a bathroom scale. She's like, "Get the fuck away from me.
No, not that evil weapon!
Don't chase me around with that." And it's really good because it's like the opposite of the shit that made us feel bad about, what is it? How big are your dumbbells or whatever, the
Yeah, yeah,
body
yeah, yeah.
shaming shit, because this clearly feels like goals that she set for herself in his
Mhm.
presence.
Right.
And he's just like, "No, you're gonna do it."
Uh-huh. Yeah. And they also mention like, "Oh, our physical is coming
Yeah,
up.
my health
Uh-oh."
evaluation is coming up.
Yeah.
He's just like, "Your ass gonna get fat." And he does eventually just hoist her into the air and weigh himself with her, and then
Yes.
while she crawls away, he just weighs himself again.
This cat is doing mathematics. My
He's
god.
doing he's doing subtraction. He But more importantly, he possesses the logic to do the same weighing method as whenever you go to turn in fucking aluminum cans in your
Yeah.
pickup truck at the local scrap metal recycling place.
Right.
Um, but yeah, that's pretty much the end of the show. That's the
That's the
last gag.
show.
Um, what do we think, guys?
So this was pretty funny. I liked this. Um Definitely a step up from Handshaker's Woes or whatever it was called.
Mhm. Woo.
Um I didn't I again, you could catch the scent of it, especially with all those 3D scenes. Boy, they loved their 3D scenes. They were like, "Guys, look at all these 3D scenes we can do." But
Yeah, now that I know that, the beginning shots of the city make so much
makes
sense.
so much sense, don't they?
It's clearly just a bunch of rotoscope cityscape shit from B-roll footage. I'm
Yeah.
just like, "I get it, but you know what? Here, that's fine.
Yeah,
They
I
didn't
didn't
focus on
actually
it so
mind
much,
it.
but
And honestly, I thought like it was integrated better. They've
there
had
were a
more
lot of
time to sort of
why were there so many weird worm's eye view shots, though?
I don't know.
Because there was a
Yeah.
couple of her, like, walking around, and then there was the one where he was dragging her into the bath, and it
I
wasn't
think
like fan service shit because, they didn't flash anything on there. It
no.
felt like just like a weird flex on their
I
part.
think that they are just showing off their technology, honestly. Um, but yeah, all of that, even taken into consideration, I thought this was fun. This was pretty funny. The world building is insane, and I sort of need to know where it goes.
And that there isn't any.
In that there isn't any, but like the world building of oh my god, this cat is a man. Why? How can this be? What are they gonna do with like what? Like, it's funny enough on its own, but the fact
Like,
that this is, like, a man-sized cat that has
the
human intelligence.
the world is Tokyo, and he is just in it,
Yeah. Yeah.
and some people know him.
And some people know him.
He's down at the corner store. He knows the clerk.
No, everyone is just accepting of this human-sized cat. Okay, here he comes. He's got his credit card, so it's fine, I guess.
I don't know, the first time it might make an impression on me. I'm like, I'm sitting in the park with, like, a road beer or something. I'm just like, "Hmm, maybe I
Hmm.
should, look into psychiatric therapy." But this
Whoa,
but
cool fursuit, bro.
but the second time I run into him, I'm just like, I'm not crazy, that's just a 6 foot tall black cat." I don't know, he seems chill.
The third time is like, "Hey, it's my buddy Yukichi."
Hey, it's him. How did I learn his name?
I don't know, it got implanted in my brain.
He write it down for me.
Yeah, maybe. Can
He
this
just
cat write?
he just gestures towards you, and he's like, "What? Oh, you want a pen?" Um, I liked the show. It was chill and it was funny.
It was a fun watch.
It almost had to do very little to be funny,
Yes.
and that's what you get from a really good character design that's well
Yes,
animated,
correct.
because he carries this show on his
He
enormous shoulders.
does extremely.
What do you think, Louis?
Yeah, I mean, no real notes or anything. It's funny. It's like it's simple. It's cute.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know if I'd watch more of it.
Yeah, what's
Um,
the verdict for watchability?
like if it was on in a room I was in, I'd be like, "Oh, that's cute," and I'd probably watch it. But like,
We just got like 12 episodes, so it's not like
13.
mhm.
a
13
deep
total.
commitment.
I think I probably will watch. I think I'm gonna watch this
I
one.
might watch some more of this. I could see that happening.
You were right. This one was fun.
Uh, so anyway, listeners, if you could tell us about your local 6 foot tall house cat, do so. You can do so at oneepisodecast@gmail.com.
That is one the word, not the number. Are you telling people to dox the local cat?
You don't necessarily have to give me last names. I don't need their addresses.
We are on Twitter and Blue Sky at One Episode Cast. Send us your funny tweets and posts, etc., etc.
Anyway, I just want to know about local 6-foot-tall walking cats.
What
Efforts
if?
to improve the community.
Do you think he is a type of cryptid?
Maybe. I think maybe he's a yokai of some sort.
Maybe he's a yokai? Okay, I can accept yokai.
Maybe he's just a big cat.
Maybe he's just a big cat.
He's a Maine
Maybe-
Coon,
Not
you
the only
see.
one.
Maybe he just got big enough that, like, his brain expanded, and now he's got human intelligence for that
Louis
reason.
brings up an interesting point. What if in one of the episodes you see him run into like an equally tall, like white cat with like a scar across his face?
Uh-oh.
Then the
Uh-oh.
music starts
I just-
playing.
I just imagine that they're just like chest to chest, and it's just like Ore Kisama.